What's up, everyone? Trent here, along with Gem Cosplay Australia, again, aka Julia. You've seen our somewhat spoiler-filled review for Avengers Infinity War.
And we've listened. You want more spoilers? You're gonna get more spoilers.
We will give you what you ask for. So once again, this is a very, very spoiler-filled discussion. We're going to be breaking down every significant thing that happened in Avengers Infinity War and talking about the post-credit scene and where they could possibly go from here. So you've had fair warning. Spoilers are coming again in more detail. So just prepare yourself.
Prepare yourself.
Turn away now if you don't want to see. And as always, welcome to the Fortress. Alright, so first things first. The Russo brothers said within the first 5 minutes of the movie we would realise why Thanos is such a big threat.
Yes.
By God, we did.
Yep. The death of Loki.
No, not the death of Loki. Just the utter demise of Loki.
Yeah.
He went out in a redeeming manner.
It was good to see the redemption of his character as well. Because in one of our discussion videos we talked about what will happen to Loki in this movie. Will he turn? Will he see Thanos as
An ally.
An ally.
Yeah.
And he did do his stereotypical Loki thing. Go up, swagger up. Oh, you're the greatest.
Yeah, suck up to him.
Suck up to him.
And I could see why. I thought Thanos was actually going to turn on him at that point. That he would have seen through the ruse. But he really, whilst he kind of did, Loki had that redeeming factor because he was sacrificing himself so Thor and the others could escape, essentially. Yes. And the way he went, it was kind of, for a Disney/Marvel movie, it was kind of brutal.
It was brutal.
You saw the veins coming through the eyes, everything going red and the blood coming out. And
purple and dead.
There's a motif of snapping things in this movie.
Yeah.
A big motif.
Loki's neck.
Yeah, and for those of you who were wondering about Heimdall and the Soul Stone theory, incorrect.
Oh, that
in the first
sad.
5 minutes.
That was sad.
But it was good because he used his powers to transport the Hulk to Earth.
Then we realised how the hell Hulk got to Earth.
Yeah, because I thought that was going to be the Tesseract. I thought Loki was going to do that as kind of a last resort. Hulk, you need to get out of here and tell everyone else. But no, it was Heimdall.
That was
a good
which was
twist.
a nice touch.
But once again, a character who's been underutilized in every movie and could have been so much more. I hope that they are somehow bringing back the gods. And I mean, a lot of people will say yes, they will bring him back because, you know, comics and stuff. But he went out once again as a hero.
Yes.
Really good. Idris Elba. He just has this really good look about him, even though he's not an Aether.
Yeah, he's great.
Yes, he's dreamy. He's dreamy.
James Bond.
But once again, the first 5 minutes you have Thanos completely decimating Hulk.
Oh, completely decimation.
Destroying him. And this plays on throughout the movie, and it's a recurring theme where whenever they need Banner to transform, Hulk's coming up going, no!
Yes.
No!
Which is quite interesting when we come off Thor Ragnarok aspect of, I don't want to become him again because I'm scared of what will happen.
Yeah, and now Hulk doesn't want to become Hulk again because he's scared
of what's going to happen. So that was a nice little twist too. I like how that was played throughout the whole movie, how we got to see the Hulkbuster. I would have really loved to see the Hulk exploding out of the Hulkbuster.
There was 2 scenes where I thought it was going to happen.
There was some potential there, and we're like, yes, this is the scene. No, but then Banner still has that redeeming quality as well and fights for his own and holds his own against Thanos and the Dark Order.
Yeah, Black Order.
Black Order, sorry.
Black Order. Politically correct, we're going to be. So, yeah, and the trailer completely misled
it was
us in the amount of Hulk that we were getting in this movie.
We got minimal Hulk.
Well, the Hulk literally only appears in the first 5 minutes. But I'm not complaining about that.
Oh no, it was still good because it was nice to explore the Banner and Hulk relationship, not in the confines of a Hulk movie.
Yes, and it's something that the Hulk has never had to deal with. He's always been the strongest there is. He punched Surtur, as much as I hated that moment with passion in Ragnarok. He punched the bloody god that destroyed Asgard.
Yeah.
Surtur he would have eventually lost, I'm sure, but he is the strongest there is, and he got brutally manhandled, which I can understand why that would affect Hulk as a character.
Yeah.
I can understand why people won't like that because they want Hulk in the movie.
Yeah.
But in terms of character growth and development, if you can't have the actual solo Hulk movies going, this is the next best thing to having character growth. Now, I've got a little cheat sheet of all the things I jotted down from the movie. We've done that. So, okay, the separate groups. The trailer had different scenes of going on about what groups were where. We learnt very early on that it's Iron Man, Hulk, Iron Man, Banner, Strange, and Wong. They're together, who are later met by Spidey when Ebony Maw and Cull Obsidian invade New York. So that group's together, and they're after the Time Stone, obviously, because that's around Strange's neck in the Eye of Agamotto. And we also see in this little story progression how Spidey gets his Iron Spider suit. That
was so good. I really enjoyed that, of the Initiate Plan 17A.
17A, I'm pretty sure it was, yes.
17A, and just seeing that fly up, we knew exactly what it was. Because the pops kind of, if you collect pop vinyls...
Gave it away.
Behind me. Gave it away. We knew we were going to see an Iron Spider in this.
Yeah.
But we didn't know how. And that just, having the suit form, and then him going, crap, I'm falling out of the spaceship. How do I stop this? How do I save Strange?
I can't breathe. Yeah,
and then
that was cool.
That redeeming moment of, oh, how do I use these? Legs come out.
Yeah.
And then him progressively learning the suit better and better as the movie progressed. That was a really nice touch.
That was good. And we got in that scene where he's on the bus, we get the Stan Lee cameo as well as the bus driver.
Yeah,
haven't you ever seen an alien invasion before? Oh, Stan.
That was really good. I did enjoy that bus jump as well, and
but it was good because we saw the mentorship between Tony and Peter, even though he wasn't ready and he turned down the suit in Avengers. We weren't in Civil War. Sorry, we weren't sure if he had been practicing in Avenger in the meantime.
Yeah,
like off script, like off screen.
Yeah,
like because it wasn't explored in a prequel comic, and it's good to see that Tony was saving his life by giving him the suit so he could breathe in space.
But then it was also a nice step up for Spider-Man, because we had this. Well, what's the point of being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man when there's no no neighborhood to save?
And Tony just looked at him like, "You idiot." Hawkeye and Ant-Man, they had a good presence in the movie.
They had a fantastic presence. Like, every single detail of them not being there was fantastic.
It made me so happy. It made me very happy. But it was explained that they wanted to stay as a pardon for their criminal behaviour. They were under house arrest, but it was hinted that they're still doing extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
It wasn't mentioned whether it was going to be Ronan or anything like that, but we now get greater appreciation as how Ant-Man and Wasp is going to fit into the universe.
And hey, you may get your Hawkeye movie.
You won't get a Hawkeye.
I can't say that with a straight face.
The Hawkeye movie's been going on for 5 seasons on the CW network.
Oh yeah, Arrow.
Yeah. Anyway, no Hawkeye and no Ant-Man can be forgiven. There were a lot of characters being juggled already, and I feel that they would have just detracted.
But I think they definitely would have detracted, because you already had quite strong personalities with Strange and the Iron Man dynamic, that if you then threw in Ant-Man with Star-Lord or Thor, I just don't think his personality would have bounced really well with people, because he is a idiot in the back of a back of a van, half drunk.
It would have been too quippy. It would have made the movie too quippy, because you had Peter, you had Tony, you have Ant-Man, then you have Drax, then you have Mantis. All those guys together, it just would have been complete.
It would have been, I think, they picked the right characters to keep into this.
Yeah.
Now, there was a mention in one of our comments on our previous video about the humour that was used in this. This humour was used well. If you want to have bad humour, go rewatch Thor Ragnarok. That was forced. This was subtle. There were a couple of moments where it was just, oh, really, that's where you went? But it wasn't too bad. You didn't feel like it was being, here's the joke, here's the punchline.
And it didn't undercut the really serious moments. There was one moment that was undercut where Gamora's talking to Star-Lord, I was going to say Chris Pratt, when Gamora's talking to Peter.
Yeah.
And then Drax has been staring at him. Yeah, I can see that.
But that was quite stereotypical for Guardians, though, to have... Wait, how long have you been standing there? An hour.
Yeah, an hour. I'm invisible.
I've learned how to become invisible. Look, you can't even see my hand moving.
Yeah, that didn't feel misplaced. If it had have happened continuously through the movie, then yeah, we have an issue. But the Guardians, the nature of that relationship, that was fine.
The little quicks were good.
Yeah.
I didn't mind them.
There weren't many real character spoilers aside from the good character dynamics mixing the different teams. You had Wanda and Vision who were over in Eastern Europe.
Scotland.
Or was it Scotland?
It was Scotland.
It was Scotland.
It was Scotland.
Okay, they were in even worse than Eastern Europe, and they were having alone time and getting all their hanky panky on.
Which I still find that weird.
Don't even start. Do not start House of M. Shush.
We'll just
shush. House of M is one of the worst things to ever happen in comics, and we're not discussing it. Shush. And that's where we get to meet Team Cap, who come in and does the awesome spear catch.
And the awesome entrance as well.
Very, very grandiose. The train going past, and he has to be...
Please, I heard you sploosh. Yep,
and I'm still doing it, thinking about it. That was really good. So that's how the different teams formed. There wasn't really much else in terms of plot development. Obviously, Thanos was going around getting all the stones. You had the Guardians meet Thanos, and they see him destroy the Collector, but turns out that was just a figment of the Reality Stone.
So what's happened to the Collector?
I think he got away.
You think he got away?
Yeah, I think he got away. I think he's wily enough to get away, and he would have just sacrificed his collection because he could always build it back up. He's a coward, and I wonder whether the Elders of the Universe still have their immortality that they have in the comics.
Because that's definitely hasn't been explored, that concept of the Elders.
Yeah, and I can see Grandmaster coming and saving his brother for sure. He'd have a game with him.
True.
And that was really good. Gamora was the most vicious that I've ever seen her there, where she's
Gamora was great.
Who?
Gamora.
Who? Gamora.
Yeah. Sorry, pick on the dyslexic.
Pronunciation.
Oh, enunciation.
No, pronouns.
Pronouns.
Yeah. Anyway, so Gamora was her most vicious in that scene where she's literally slit Thanos' throat, and then...
And the beauty of that scene as well, where it is that literal breakdown, because you see that she still has feelings for Thanos.
What he did.
And what he did. And it's definitely, you felt that whirlwind of, I've done it, but what have I done? And then...
I'm free of him.
Yes, but then that just Reality Stone wipe, and then the
Collector doing his...
there's tears. And
Oh, she cries.
She cries.
Yeah. That was, I like that. But then the big reveal, he's taken Gamora away from the Guardians. The funny thing that I noticed was that the Infinity Gem's powers were only working when he was present, because he dismantled Drax and made a slinky out of Mantis.
Yes.
And then as soon as he left, they returned back to normal.
Yes. But I don't know whether that was just the... Because that's when I thought Drax died. Like, I thought, wow, done, dusted.
Yeah, so did I.
Like, I was like, oh shit, that's one way to kill a character.
And then it happened to Mantis, and I was like, okay,
yeah,
let's just get rid of all of them.
Then she blinked, and I was like, oh, maybe she's still alive. Maybe he's still just testing out the Reality Stone. That relationship, though, shown between Peter and Gamora was very interesting and very intense too, because I honestly didn't think Peter would shoot.
No, and he tried, and then it happened to have little bubbles. I know.
And
that was a very emotionally driven scene. I like that scene a lot.
It was really good, because we definitely saw a lot more from those characters.
Yeah, and I think that comes to show that the Russos have an understanding of the serious nature of the film, and without James Gunn, they poked fun at the dance-off between Ronan the Accuser and Guardians 1, and Drax is like, tell him about the dance-off that you won for the Battle of the Universe, and he's like, dance-off with Tony later in the movie. But that was really good. But the big spoiler of the movie, which was a big cameo that we weren't expecting, I'm not sure if it was Hugo Weaving, but the Red Skull.
Oh my god, that was amazing. So I actually thought, so the little I have read about the Infinity Gauntlet and that story from you, in particular you just feeding me little bits of information because I'm a lazy reader, was the main reason why Thanos was trying to get all the Infinity Stones gems, whatever, was to impress Death.
Yes.
And I literally thought we were going to see Death and have like, I was so excited going, oh sweet, we're going to see female Death and this is interesting, and holy shit, it's Red Skull. And it was beautiful. Well,
he was a spectre. He was a floating spectre. So I really want to explore later how he got those powers, because he hinted that he had to sacrifice something to get the Soul Stone, and he said he did.
I don't think he did.
Yeah, but he was rejected, so he didn't sacrifice enough.
Okay. See, how I more saw it was that the Tesseract threw him into that as punishment because he's not a god or wasn't worthy enough to even wield any of the stones. So that was his punishment, to show the kind of your sacrifice for the Soul Stone.
Yeah, there's two things that I think have happened here. First is that he's being switched over with the Adam Warlock role as Keeper of the Soul Stone.
Okay.
But the thing that interested me was that he knew who they were coming, and he's like, it's my
duty to know.
Yeah, so there's a character who has been around in the comics recently called the Unseen, who's a cloaked spectral figure in lots of chains.
Yeah.
It's now currently the former White Nick Fury.
Yeah.
And he oversees and acts on things going on in the Marvel Universe, so he knows everything. Kind of like the Watcher.
Yeah.
Except he's the Unseen. So I'm thinking that that's kind of the role he's playing, if he knows who Gamora and Thanos are before they come. So that I really like that. And then we go into the whole situation of that emotionally driven scene between Thanos and Gamora.
That was amazing. That was amazing acting as well.
It was. Until she opened her mouth.
Yep.
Until it was good. We saw Thanos thinking we
saw the crisis within Thanos.
We knew what he was thinking. We knew what had to be done. And as soon as she opened her mouth and started laughing, saying, you don't love anything, blah blah blah. Yeah. I was just like, that kind of ruined the moment for me. But once again, he turned around, and then Red Skull said he's not mourning for himself, he's mourning for you.
Her laughing in that aspect could have been taken out and just replaced by him picking her up and dragging her and her losing her shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And anyway, her being sacrificed so he could get the Soul Stone, good. Didn't like Gamora at all. She wasn't.
Really?
She was meant to be the most deadly person in the universe, yet she got her ass handed to her almost every time. The only person she really matched with was Nebula. Yeah. And yeah, I just didn't buy into Zoe.
I'm quite surprised about Nebula's appearance in this as well. Alright, it was basically just used as blackmail to get what Thanos wanted. But then I'm surprised she didn't die.
She does play a big role in the Infinity Gauntlet, though.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything in terms of that, but she pretty much gets control. In the storyline.
It'll be interesting to see, because I do absolutely adore Karen Gillian, and I think her acting style is getting better and better.
Yeah.
And so as much as I'm not a massive fan of the character, I'm curious to see how she'll be built into the next stage of the universe.
Yeah, she was a very key character in the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, so I can see that's why they kept her. Because the Guardians weren't around back then.
Yeah.
They were, but they were nobody. They weren't the team that we know today.
Yeah.
Then we have the story going on with Thor's hammer. We get a really good Peter
Dinklage.
Dinklage.
That was interesting. I think that's the tallest he's ever played.
Tallest he's ever played while still playing a dwarf.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they
did it well.
They went to Niflheim.
Oh, Nifl?
I think. Oh, I can't remember which realm it is. There's 9. I think it's Niflheim.
I don't care. We got a really good shot of Chris Hemsworth's arms.
Yeah, but anyway, he was a big surprise as playing. I can't even remember his name. God, that's shocking. But he was the Forge runner, pretty much, dwarf that helped make Stormbreaker
and make the Infinity Gauntlet as well, which was a nice touch, because that has definitely, for movie person, has never really been explored. Of how the hell did he get something to control this gems? Here's your answer.
Oh, he literally just attaches them to his glove in the comics, that's it. That's it. It's not a gauntlet that's made previously. It's literally just his glove that he wears, and he's just attached them. Then he removes the glove, and then it's the Infinity Gauntlet. That's all it is.
oh, cool, I really liked that little movie touch then. Yeah. Well done, Russo brothers.
Silver Surfer 44 is the issue that he does it. And I'm like, why is it going for $200 now? Anyway, yes, Thor making his hammer, Groot giving his arm
that was a nice little sacrifice for teenage Groot.
Yeah, because he was a bit of a dick throughout the movie.
He was a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel got a lot of money for that.
He did, and he didn't do much at all. The next thing, we had the fight on Titan, which is Tony's group. They went to Titan, and
worked actually surprisingly well as a team.
They did. They coordinated really well until Star-Lord happened.
You're just sitting there and you're watching the scene, just go, don't do it. Don't. You know exactly what Manta is doing. Mantis, sorry. Just let her do what she's doing. Nah, that's almost off. The glove is almost off. Nah, you stuffed it.
Yep, you stuffed it because you had feelings.
Yep.
Feelings for Gamora. You idiots never have feelings. No, just like this. This is pure...
hatred.
Yeah, pure hatred. So, yeah... But once again, more development for Star-Lord.
Yep.
And showing the relationship. But yeah, that was... You're just thinking, God, it was a facepalm moment.
Yeah. Oh, it was a massive facepalm. It was one of the turning points where... it could have been a really good turning point in the movie where it could have done something well for the Avengers.
Well, he only had 4 stones at that point too.
Yep.
We didn't see the decimation of Xandar. He had the Power Stone to begin with.
That was a nice little gloss over as well of, oh, by the way, Xandar's destroyed. What?
I'll get to that later.
Okay.
I'm getting to that later.
Okay.
But leading into all of that fighting on Titan, you had Doctor Strange, who was using the Time Stone to look at the different possibilities of them winning.
Yes.
Possibilities. And it was over 400 million that he looked at, and there was only one that they won. So it was interesting when he's essentially destroyed the Avengers on Titan, Tony's team on Titan, and Tony's about to die.
Literally about to die.
Strange, who said before, early in the movie, that if it came down to protecting the Infinity Gem, Tony or Spidey, he would do the Infinity Gem even if it meant they perished.
Yeah.
And it showed how much he actually cared as a character, but also... he's seen all the possibilities, so he knows how things play out.
That's what I mean. To have him sit there and it's like, all right, well, how many did we win? 1. Is this the one where it was, I saved Tony, I willingly gave up the gem?
Yeah.
Is this the future he saw?
Yeah,
the sacrifices he had to make.
Yeah, so he obviously, he hid the stone up in the sky, that was a pretty cool pinch of the star.
Yeah.
So... He saw that Star-Lord stuffed up. He saw that Tony was about to die. He saw everything, so he said we're now in the endgame. So he knew that he had to give this Time Stone over for the next steps to happen. We haven't seen what those steps are, because Thanos ultimately reigns supreme. But it's interesting to know that Strange has now implemented this
endgame.
This strategy that, things have to go right for us to win here.
And I think coming further through, we potentially will see Strange's manipulation of characters to get this endgame.
Yeah.
Hopefully, or else what the hell are they going to do?
I don't know. I actually have no idea what they're going to do. But the Wakanda battle was the climax of the film. A really good climax.
Very interesting in the sense of the monsters that appeared. The kind of 6-armed, really ragged George. Yeah. Really, I kind of wish we got a little bit more of a close-up and some more detail into how disturbing they were, because they did look pretty awesome, and there was a shit ton of them.
They kind of reminded me of one of the, one of the monsters from the Resident Evil series.
See, I was kind of thinking Lord of the Rings-ish. Kind of Wraith-ish.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe a mix of both?
A mix of both, hybrid.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were cool, multiple arms. Wakanda's defences held really well.
They did held really well.
And the only way they got through is because they actually opened up the defence because they were trying to go around the perimeter. Yeah,
and it was at least good, for once, good strategy by the team to realise if they get behind us, we're screwed.
Yeah, so there was no actual sacrifice. There was no deaths aside from Gamora and Vision, eventually.
This is what really got me, was the key... The deaths that we thought and how they were going to happen, we expected it more like every 10 minutes or 20 minutes you would
Yeah.
see a character go and you'd be heart-wrenched. So there was only 3. Loki, Gamora, and I'm just going to keep on stuffing it up.
And Heimdall.
Heimdall, but again, Heimdall's probably more of a B character than one of the main A's. And then
Eventually Vision. And he was saved. Wanda saved him by destroying the thing, but then Thanos used the Time Stone.
It happen though.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just wish in movies you just want to yell at the characters to just go, well, you should have done it earlier.
Yeah.
And it was a nice little turn, and I guess we saw the use of all the stones as well.
Yes.
So it was nice, but I'm just sitting there in that moment going, congratulations, you've destroyed it, and Time Stone.
Yeah. But that battle was really good. We didn't see we didn't see the scene where they're all running together into the forest.
Or from the forest.
Yeah.
With Hulk.
Yeah, that was just purely for the trailer.
Well done.
Well done, good editing. When Steve's holding the glove, he's
edited.
He's got every stone except for the Mind Stone at that point.
Well done for Rogers as well, freaking holding that as well. And I loved that you saw
Thanos'
disbelief, but then also his awesome.
Yeah,
like he actually admired some of the Avengers for their cause.
He admired a lot of them, and I think that's why he let a lot of them live. Because his motive throughout the movie was, I want to balance the universe. It's not my choice who lives and who dies. It's got to be a randomized thing. Yep. So he let a lot of people live. He let Stark live. He let Spidey live. He let them all live on Titan. He could have easily finished them once he got that Time Stone, but he was happy he kept his honor.
Them, yeah, yeah. I didn't think of it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. So he clearly respected who he was going against, and ultimately he knew they were below him as well.
Yes.
So that would be another thing that comes into play. He knew that they were below him. They couldn't stop him. He had 5 of the 6 Infinity Stones, and he put the Hulkbuster in the concrete. That's when I thought Hulk was going to burst out.
Yep.
But pretty much in that scene when he's walking up to Wanda,
when he's decimating everyone but not killing them.
No, he used every gem at that point. He was using every one.
Yep.
Thor coming down into the Wakandan battle, that was an epic moment.
That was really good.
Some of the best Thor visuals we've had.
Yep.
With his new hammer.
And eye.
Yep. The Rocket got him a cybernetic eye that he smuggled out of his butt, but he didn't wash. Yep. So now he has 2 different coloured eyes.
I did like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked that.
Yeah, blue and brown. So that was a big moment, and ultimately Stormbreaker was designed to kill a god. To kill Thanos. That was what it was designed for. And he almost succeeded. He did succeed.
Just aim for the frickin' head.
You should have aimed for the head. That's what he said.
Yep.
And then, boom.
What I absolutely love, especially about that moment as well, is how it didn't go black straight away. You actually saw the damage that was happening to Thanos through the power of the stones. Yeah,
him doing that move took a lot out of him. And after that scene happens, you see that the gauntlet's completely screwed.
Yeah, completely just...
You
see that the gems are there, but the gauntlet itself is just done.
The gems don't have that same sparkle that they did. So I'm wondering whether when he snaps his hands, because he used all that power, whether they're broken or damaged or something like that. Because he did do the snap, and that was the first time in the movie that he had used the power of all 6 stones at the time.
At once, yeah.
Yeah, so it overloaded, obviously, the gauntlet, because you saw the damage. He was burned up his arm.
He was, like, full arm and into shoulder.
Yeah, and then we get the moment that I was not expecting at all. I mean, I knew it was going to happen with the snap of the fingers, and then half the Avengers would go, but not the Avengers that I thought were going to go.
No, it was really interesting who they picked to go. And
it's interesting.
They went.
It's interesting, but it ultimately brings it full circle because they kept the original Avengers alive.
Yeah.
But some really interesting add-ons. So the remaining Avengers that we saw on screen who are alive are Captain America, Iron Man, War Machine,
Widow,
Hulk and Thor. And you have Nebula. And you have Okoye. And that's all they showed.
I think we're missing someone.
No, that's all they showed.
That's all?
Yeah, Falcon's gone.
No, War Machine.
They didn't show Shuri. We can only assume that she's alive. They didn't show her. They didn't show Wong.
Yeah.
Strange is gone. Spidey's gone in one of the most heart-wrenching moments in the movie. He was a little boy. He was screaming, "Mr. Stark, Mr. Stark!" Yeah,
that pushed me over. And when Bucky went, like,
yep,
that's
Bucky's
when it
gone.
started for me. But as soon as Spidey and that, I don't feel well.
Yeah.
And that just revert back to that kid that just pulled at my heartstrings.
But I was really surprised when T'Challa went as well.
Oh my god, that hit me in the stomach as well, because I really thought it was going to be
Okoye. Yeah, I thought it was too.
Especially in the sense that this is no place to die.
Yeah. But what's and what a lot of people have said in our review comments is that, oh yeah, they'll come back, they've got movies coming out. No. You don't need to have T'Challa as Black Panther. Shuri has taken the mantle in the comics. That's easily done.
That's easily done. Yeah.
Ant-Man and Wasp, they've been excused because they've been pardoned from the movie.
And the one thing that we've noted, if you're a Marvel fan, you know how they work. These don't go in order.
What works?
The movies. They're never in a chronological order.
Well, they try to be.
They try to be, but they're not.
Well, Ant-Man's meant to be running concurrently to this.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. It's not like you finish one to start another. It's kind of all melded into each other and they intertwine and things cross and bend, which is why you need to watch all the TV series as well, and it all links in quite nicely. But it's never just you watch from this movie easily through to this movie. So, example, Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, and then you watch Captain America 1, 2.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, some really big names gone. Really interesting to see where they go from here. And ultimately, the movie ended on a somber note with Thanos sitting over this beautiful pasture.
Kung Fu Panda vibes.
Well, at the end of Infinity Gauntlet, he goes and becomes a solitary farmer. So that's kind of what that. He was ultimately defeated and he lost his purpose in life. So he went and isolated himself. That's kind of what he's done. Yeah. He's balanced the universe. He's content, and then end credits.
Yeah. What are they just going to do from here?
Now, I said before I was going to talk about it later, and we've now got the post-credit scene. Before we go into where they go from here, there is one post-credit scene, and it has everyone's favourite swearing one-eyed man, Nick Fury, and Maria Hill. They are going through New York, and they're having car crashes because the people are disappearing, once again because of the snap of the fingers. So this brings in a alert call that he does before he and Maria Hill disappear. He's sending a transponder, and I really wish it was sending to a place that said the number 4 on it, but ultimately it didn't. Instead, it came up with Captain Marvel's symbol.
Yep.
Now, this is going to be very interesting because Captain Marvel is released before Avengers 4 next year. What I think is going to happen is it's apparently set in the 90s, so it's set before Infinity War. However, I do think it is going to, at the end, pull a Captain America First Avenger and catch up to the timeline, the post-credit scenes or whatever, and she's going to get that alert, and she's going to then come to the aid of the Avengers.
As long as they do it better than Wonder Woman.
Well, that's not hard. But the other thing, talking about the destruction of Xandar before, because she's in space,
coming to the aid of Xandar.
Yes, I think that might also be where she goes. She might find Xandar destroyed.
Okay. And
that's when she gets the alert. Okay. So I could see that being a thing, kind of tying in that little
just
thing that was left, that was just a passing mention. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think that could be a good link for Captain Marvel. I'm really worried about that movie, but I can't see it succeeding too well. It's Marvel, but it will, and I just can't see Ant-Man and Wasp or Captain Marvel being as successful as the other movies. I just don't think they have it because it should be called Miss Marvel. But anyway, where do they go from here? I honestly have no idea where they go.
I think we're kind of in the same mind frame as we were when we came into this movie, we guessed, we speculated, we thought about what could potentially happen because of what we've read or what we've understood previously, but we had no clue.
Yeah.
And coming out of this movie, moving forward, we still have no clue what's going to happen.
No, I've got a couple of theories that I've been thinking of, though.
Yes.
We're not going to know... We're not going to get any confirmation or any resolution until San Diego Comic-Con when they announce the title of Avengers 4. If they even give it a title. Which they will.
They will, but will it be the proper title or will it just be a
working title? No, it'll be the proper title because they've only got a year to do it.
True. That's at least one good thing. We only have to wait 12 months for the next.
Yes, literally this time next year it's released.
This time next year.
And we get Captain Marvel before it, and Wasp, so that tides us over. But given that Thanos has won and the Avengers are decimated, something has to come along to ultimately redeem the timeline. Those dead heroes, I don't think they'll stay dead. They shouldn't stay dead.
Some will, some won't.
Some will be fundamentally changed.
Yeah.
It depends on if the Infinity Stones are working. There might be another weapon, a higher order weapon that comes into it with the Celestials or, once again, the Eternals or the Elders.
Yeah.
Is Thanos going to be the villain? I don't think he'll be the villain because he's at peace now.
Yeah.
I think another villain's going to come along, and I think we might be seeing some of the ramifications of Thanos doing this universe change.
Yes, because it's going to piss off a lot of people.
Stuff the people. The people can eat a dick. Anyway.
No, I meant people in the universe in the sense
of... the universe. I thought you meant like the people watching. Yes.
No, not the people watching. I mean, he's literally destroyed half the population. You have some very, very powerful people in the universe. You've pissed off someone by doing that, and they're going to find him. Okay,
well, I'm glad you said that because I think the next logical step is annihilation, and that leads into the whole galactic. It's a galactic war.
Okay.
So it involves the Kree, it involves the Nova Corps, it involves Silver Surfer, all that kind of stuff, and the Fantastic Four villain Annihilus, which I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure the rights have gone to Marvel, along with the Skrulls. And he has the Annihilation Wave, which is a big armada from the negative zone that comes and just does galactic conquest. So I wouldn't be surprised if Thanos changing the ultimate reality caused something like that to happen.
Yeah.
Also, they may not be dead. They may be in an alternate universe.
That's kind of what I thought, maybe. But then I'm just sitting there and I just think it just sounded too far-fetched because I really, really didn't want Spider-Man to die.
Well, but why would it be far-fetched?
I don't know, because it's me and I'm not a comic book nerd like you.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
True.
They could be doing something. This could be all part of the plan. They could have they could be working on their reality to find a way to come back home.
Yeah.
And then the others will be coming to find a way. Because Tony's still stuck on Titan with Nebula.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to find a way back.
Yes.
And you got the others on Earth. So it wouldn't surprise me if there was also a time travel element to it. Kang the Conqueror would be another really good villain to introduce. Have them go back in time to try and prevent Thanos' rise, or I just there's a lot of possibilities, and I kind of don't want them to take it from the comics because then too many people start speculating like I'm doing now.
Yeah.
I want them to do kind of an original story.
Kind of like what they've done.
Well,
this movie.
This was original, but it did take a lot of ideas from source material in terms of Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity and all that.
Yeah, but it wasn't just focused on one, at least.
Yeah.
They took at least some core concept from a lot of different sources.
Yeah.
So, again, it left everyone wondering what's going to happen.
Yeah, and I think that's what's going to happen with this next one. It is very much they are defeated, where do they go? So, who knows? Let us know your theories down below in the comments. It's been out for a few days in Australia. It's about to be released in the States. So once you've seen it in the States, let us know your thoughts. Yeah. If you like the movie, if you hated the movie, if you like some things, you hated other things, just let us know. Write it down in the comments below. We're getting tongue-tied here. We've been talking for a while. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Share us around. I'm Trent.
I'm Julia.
And as always, you're watching The Fortress.